Hi, my name is Andrew Sanger and I'm one of the Law Fellows at Corpus Christi College. I'm also a Director of Studies, which means I'm one of the Fellows responsible for the education in law at Corpus. So why might you want to study law? And why might you want to study law at Cambridge and Corpus specifically? Well, law is all around us. Law is about how we live. So it structures our interactions with each other, with the state, and between states, so beyond borders, so thinking about international law. So for example, you might have seen in the news about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. This is an example of international law. Or you might have seen in the news things about holding the government to account. This is about the relationship between us, citizens, and the government. Or you might be aware of things like contract law, or family law, or tort law, and these can be about the relations between each other. So if these sorts of things are things that you're interested in, then you should think about applying for law. Why would you want to study law at Cambridge then? Well, at Cambridge we teach not just what the law is, but we empower students to think critically about the law, and also to think about its social, political, and economic consequences. So the law can be a tool for peaceful social change, but it can also be a tool for oppression. It can be something that helps empower us, but it can also hold some people back. And as a consequence, understanding how the law works gives you a better understanding of how our society works and how the world works. So it's an incredibly empowering subject. If this sort of thing interests you, you might think, law might be an intimidating kind of subject to apply for, but if this sort of thing interests you, then I strongly encourage you to apply, and particularly to Corpus. Why? Because Corpus is committed to the idea that everyone deserves the best possible education, and that education itself is empowering. We have a really close, dynamic and diverse community, not just of law students, but also of alumni and fellows. And we're incredibly lucky actually to have alumni that actively support our current students. Our students engage in a wide range of activities, whether mooting, debating, lectures, talks, dinners, events, or just sort of supporting each other across the different years within college. And this is really exciting to see and something that the fellows actively support. If you're interested in these sorts of things and this sounds attractive to you, then I would strongly encourage you to apply. Corpus is an old college in the centre of town, which means it's beautiful. It's a relatively small college, but it is also one that has a distinctly modern outlook. And as a consequence, you get the best of both worlds. So if you're interested in applying for law at Cambridge and at Corpus, do you need to do anything to prepare? Well, the first thing to say is we don't look for a specific combination of A-levels, so you don't need to worry about having taken certain A-levels before applying. But in terms of preparation, well, you might be thinking, well, I haven't done law A-level. Absolutely fine. We have a mix of students, some have done law A-level, some have not. It doesn't matter either way. But if you want to prepare for your application or for an interview, then my best advice would be to pick up a newspaper and to read what's going on. The law reflects what's going on in the world at the moment, and as a consequence, if you look at the newspaper, if you look at the sorts of things that are going on in the world, you can start to think critically about them. I don't mean you need to know the law, I just mean read the paper and think, is there law involved? What kind of law? What work is the law doing? Should law be involved? Who wins and who loses from the law that's being involved in this particular situation? And should the law be reformed? Just thinking about these sorts of questions will give you a good preparation for any interview here at